Could you all feel it? Could you feel that it goes beyond a song? And if we can hold that, it can become a reality. One heart at a time. That's how we do it. One heart at a time. Okay. Last month we had a series we were working on realizing our dreams and realizing our dreams and letting ourselves become capable of dreaming and bigger. We just hadn't really started manifesting them yet. Y'all thinking about your dreams, thinking about your expansion a little bit? Okay, I'm talking about 4. Okay, okay. Good. The rest of you, if you're not, just put this in your files. All right, this month we're really talking about when you start to manifest something, things in your world have to shift and change because what you are bringing in is new. And so there's normally, we talked about creating space and stuff like that, but you're going to find subtle shifts and changes as you're starting to bring the new into your reality. Ready? Okay. The universe speaks in comfort and discomfort. Those and some symbolism, but we'll worry about that another day. Let's learn the basics, and this is a simple message, and everybody goes, Cindy, I already know it. You may. Do you remember to act on it? That's probably why we need to talk about it today. Okay? All right. We're going to start with comfort. When you are in your space, and you're feeling a sense of comfort, and I'm talking about universal language coming to you, there is within you a sense of rightness. Oh, I'm feeling like I should. That feels right. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. It's something that you feel in your heart and you feel in your solar. How many of you have ever said, I knew I was supposed to do that. I knew I was supposed to call them. I knew I was supposed to blah, blah. Yeah? Everybody? Did ya? Sometimes. 50% maybe. Dang it. I knew I was supposed to because there was a sense of rightness that was asking you to participate. It is a knowing beyond the mind. The mind doesn't know this. It comes energetically in your field. So oftentimes, and this will happen to me, not being the cook, but I make it to the grocery store maybe once a month. Patrick does all the shopping and cooking. So I'll be cruising for whatever, and do you ever do this? Do you ever find yourself, like, for example, just like looking at the spices? Like I don't even know why I stopped and I'm looking at spices. And you go, why am I looking at that particular spice? I don't need that spice. Why am I doing that? Do you? Do you buy it? Feels right to buy it. I'm going to buy it anyway. So you pick it up and stick it in your bag and off you go. And then you realize, well, what you had was either expired or you did need it. Or you find a recipe that you want to do for the first time in 100 years, and you need that spice. Do you see? The universe is moving you in spaces that you do not yet know. The rightness is information that your brain has not yet seen. You hear what I'm saying? It's guiding you to the next space that you're going to be inhabiting, and it helps prepare you for that. I know you had situations where you should call somebody. I should call them, right? I really should call them. Maybe a week later you do. And maybe they're okay. Maybe they needed you a week before. When we're moving in the universal flow of rightness, we can respond to the blessings that are coming to us and through us. So, what am I thinking? Don't. You're not thinking. You are feeling. There's a big difference. So you are listening, not thinking. You are listening to the universal signals that you are receiving. You're not analyzing and thinking. Your mind might say, nah, we don't have time, don't worry. But the universe is saying, I need you. And sometimes we be needed for others. Sometimes we're needed for ourselves. Sometimes it's just a wonderful blessing we get. You got it? Okay. Where does the knowing come from? As children of God, we are always in the love of God because we are the love of God expressing. Can you accept that? We are the love of God expressing. We have this beautiful opportunity to be on this planet, to choose to experience. We are always in the universal good. When we receive the knowings, it is coming from within the love that we are, and is coming in us from and through the oneness that is greater than us, than what we call our mind. You guys with me on that? All right. God has a care for every detail of our lives. We believe that, don't we? Every memorial service, or quite a few of them, will read the scripture. God cares for every single thing, counts the number of the hairs on your head. How much more valuable are you that bear the image of a soul? You know, we when we're in spiritual heightened consciousness, we speak of it, but do we realize it daily? God has a care for every living thing. God has a care for every cell in my body. God has a care for me. To begin to really live it daily. All right. The conscious mind cannot see what the universal mind knows. The conscious mind cannot see what the universal mind knows. So the signal comes in knowing, and it's the sense of rightness. It's simple, and yet it's complex. It's simple and complex. All right. It's simple and automatic, but when you don't follow it, it either does one of two things. It A, simply goes away, or it B, nags at you until you feel discomfort. It nags at you until you feel discomfort. It will go away or it will nag at you. So, if a knowing moves into discomfort, you know you are integral to something. It's important for you to do this. The universe needs you to move. Got it? And you want to move. It will stop when someone else has stepped in to do what you should have been doing. If the universe can get someone else to do your job, then it will stop. But you normally feel bad because you know you did not show up. So if everybody just responded and showed up with whatever they're being asked to contribute and followed the rightness, it just feels right. And when we do that and we show up and step up from spirit, there is no reward. There is no, oh, thank you so much. It's like, you know what? It is not about me. God told me to do it, so we done here. Whatever thanks you got, you give it to spirit. I don't need to hang around. You know, we're done here. So it is about us just showing up and presenting who we are. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So the rightness I feel is about me being taken care of by the universe, and then me taking my place in the flow of the universe. You guys with me? In the rightness, I am being taken care of. In the rightness, I am taking my place in the flow. Do you think that Spirit always makes you do the second one and never the first one? Always giving and never receiving? No. Do you think Spirit always lets you receive and never asks you to step up? No. We're always asked to do things, and it just feels right to our spirit. All right, now we're going to go into discomfort. Discomfort simply means it's time to modify. Do you guys know what discomfort feels like? I should not be here. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Oh my. The ladder falls. I know they told me not to get on that ladder. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but that's premonition. Discomfort is when we're in the wrong place and something just does not feel right. You guys got it? Okay. I knew I wasn't supposed to do it. I'm not right. I'm agitated. We ask Spirit for guidance about our will. God, I want this, and I want that, and I want this, and I want that. Where am I? In the I wants. So I'm in my space, my will. Yeah. So we ask about it, and if we go into discomfort as the answer, what do we feel? Dang, I just got blocked. God's blocking my desire, which is so good. I'm being blocked. But discomfort doesn't mean an absolute no. It's not a line in the ground that says never, ever, ever. Discomfort could also mean not yet. It could also mean take a break, we got to do something else first. Discomfort, I'm not in the right place, but I like this place, but I'm not in the right place. It could mean pay attention. We need to modify something. Something needs to be modified for you to move into rightness. Everybody okay with that? All right. So it's not a hard no. It feels like we're not exactly where we need to be. And we need to release attachment to the discomfort sometimes and just be still. Okay, I'm not comfortable. Let me just center in. Let me be still with my own spirit. Let me be still with God and just say, okay, what is right? Where is the rightness in this? Where is the rightness in this? And move toward that. How simple is that adjustment? But discomfort's very valuable because it tells you, not in the right place. Got to go. And it may be the perfect place, like everybody's praying and meditating, and, it could be your heightened sense of heaven. You're not supposed to be there. You may need to be elsewhere. You may need to be doing something else. But our brains would override it and say, no, be happy you're here. Shush. But we have to start responding to the energy from the universe. When you are in discomfort, you are not in harmony with where your spirit wants you to be. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. And I know you know all this, yes? I know this stuff. It's easy. Discomfort says that you are out of the flow of your soul. We're not in a space where we are being enhanced for our growth, for our soul's pleasure, for our soul's light. We're out of the flow. So look for the rightness and modify. If there's a true desire that you're dealing with, it will actually find a more perfect space. It'll actually show up more perfectly through the discomfort. Look for the subtle energy that you feel. The subtle energy. Sometimes discomfort comes from following the rightness, and you follow the rightness, and then that which needs to be altered comes up as discomfort. But I'm doing what I need to be doing. Why am I uncomfortable now? Something has to modify for me to keep on that path of rightness. You with me? It's getting a little complicated, I know. The universe always sends that most beautiful message. When something no longer serves you, you'll feel that, even though it felt good in the beginning. You love where you are, and you try to do both. You try to make discomfort a part of the journey. It's okay. It's okay, I'm not comfortable because I feel rightness on this part of it. Instead of sitting with the discomfort and saying, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to show me? In 96, it was our first seminary class. We were started in 90. I had a student who, she had been through the whole thing. She was months away from ordination. Months away. And she came to me and she said, Cindy, I'm overwhelmed. I just can't keep doing this. I can't work and do seminary at the same time. And I'm like going, seminary's not that much. It's like I'm not asking for your life force. But I didn't say anything. I said, okay, I'm going to honor your guidance. She goes, I've just got to quit. I've got to quit. I got to get something out of my life. I'm not going to make it. And I said, okay, great. That's fine. If you want to come back later in another time and space, that's fine. So she quit. Months away from ordination. What do you think happened in 3 months? She quit her job. It wasn't seminary. It was her job. And within a month after that, this is pre-internet, she was ordained by the Universal Brotherhood, where you write a letter and tell them why you want to be a minister, and they ordain you. So she was an ordained minister with our knowledge in another church, and that was her career the rest of her life. She felt the discomfort but could not identify it. She felt the discomfort, and instead of sitting with it and asking what modifications need to occur, and I never was mad at her, I love her dearly. And she was a wedding person. She loved doing weddings. I'd send her weddings all the time. So she made her living doing that. She was very powerful. But she could not and did not look at the discomfort to say, where do I modify to rightness? Because I love this stuff. I love what I'm learning. She was a perfect student. Ate it like candy. I love it. Like, I was shocked, but I was young. Had no words of wisdom other than got to follow your heart. And I watched that happen. And it's okay. In the end, it doesn't really matter. It was her journey. But I feel it's a perfect example of how sometimes we react to the discomfort without identifying where's my rightness really? How do I modify this? How do I really look at what I'm really feeling instead of trying to stop it, instead of trying to stop the discomfort? What is it asking me to change? Did that make sense to you guys? And she is now on the other side, probably being a fabulous minister. There's a Bible story that I love to share. Are y'all feeling with me here? Does everybody understand the messages? Comfort is when you feel in your field, you feel in your space, I'm okay, I feel okay. And also you'll feel like the heart can open. There's like a heart opening, an arc opening, and you just feel peace. Discomfort is more tight, and you're not in your skin. You want to get out of your skin. It's tight. And the heart can actually go tight on you if it's important that you pay attention. So when it even starts, if you just go, okay, universe is talking to me. The universe is talking to me now. Let me listen and see what's happening. That gives you the ability to act. And it will happen probably daily. If we're on the move trying to do things, it'll happen a lot. And that's when we just have to take time to recognize. So you got the skills? All right. I wanted to share the story about Ajanan because I like him. He's a good guy. Jesus is a young man. He's just starting his teachings, and he's teaching in another country where the Brahmic priests don't like him. Because Jesus is teaching in a country that is filled with a caste system, where you have to be at a certain level to have certain things. And he's already gotten asked to leave the temples, and so he's living with the farmers. Then they're loving him, and he's teaching and preaching and doing his job. And there was a priest, Ajanan, who heard of this young man, this young boy, and what he was saying, and he was totally wanted to hear him. So he traveled to see him, and the priest invited Jesus to come and talk, and Jesus said, no, I'm good. And then they sent lots of presents to Jesus, and they said, come and talk. He said, no, I'm good. And he sent all the presents back. So Ajanan actually pled his case, but no, I'm good. If you want to talk to me, you can come to me in the farmer's house. Because Ajanan said, I can't go to the farmer's house because he's not the right caste. I can't go there. You have to meet me in my caste system. No, I don't. So Jesus just stuck his ground. He's a young man. So Ajanan comes to him in the middle of the night to the farmer's house, so no one can see what's happening. Ajanan is really troubled. He's very troubled because he knows and has heard what this young man has said, and he feels the rightness in it. Now, it doesn't say that, but you can see it in the story. He feels the rightness in what Jesus is saying, but he is so distressed. The discomfort of where he is made him show up in the middle of the night. Now, if we were going to analyze his discomfort, where would his discomfort lie? Would it be lying in the fact that he couldn't get to Jesus? Or would it be lying in the fact that the beliefs that he has held are no longer applicable? The beliefs he has held are no longer allowing him to find the spirit that he feels. The beliefs are blocking him from even listening to the spirit that he feels. So he goes to Jesus, and Jesus says to him immediately, there is no night where shines the sun. Why do you come at night? I have no secret messages to give. In the light, all secrets are revealed. I talk freely. You're coming in the night. There's nothing special here. And then Ajanan starts to ask him, who is this God you talk about? Where is his kingdom? How do I worship him? What is going on? And Jesus talks to him that God is a God. He's not a king on earth. He's not in the sea or sky, yet he is everywhere. He is the Christ of God, universal love. And he tells him the gate, how to get there. And he said, can I become a subject of the king? And Jesus said, You yourself are a king. You may enter through the gate and be a subject of the King of Kings. But you must lay aside your priestly robes, his identity, being a priest of my caste. I have this identity. I can't go beyond this. You have to lay that aside. You have to stop working for God for gold. You have to stop making gold more important than your job. And you have to give your life in willing sacrifice for others. You have to care and love about mankind. And those are the three things that Jesus told him. And Ajanan went away. And Ajanan did not understand what Jesus said. He did not. He said he went into the darkest night of his soul. But he felt the rightness of the light. You with me? He went to the light and he allowed the discomfort to come forward. And in the discomfort, he was able to see the things that needed to be broken down in his reality. Jesus told him, 1, 2, 3, get out of your identity of being special. Quit using God to make money. Serve, yes. But your goal can't be making money. And make people important. Make them equal to you. Very simple. We go, yeah. We go, yeah. Ajanan went, oh my God. That is the antithesis of how he was trained, of who he was. He didn't understand. And it says that he journeyed to his home. He seemed to sleep, to pass through the darkest night. And when he awoke, the Sun of Righteousness had arisen, and he found the King. He went through an awakening of spirit. He went through the spiritual awakening of energy, not a mental understanding. You understand? Not a mental understanding of 1, 2, 3, but an awakening that his spirit could take the rightness and move forward. Now, we don't see him until later in Jesus' work, when Jesus is working in Jerusalem and Israel with his people, but he does become a follower of his then. He moves to that energy to be with him and to continue to learn and to be an example and to be a teacher in his own world of the messages that he gave. I share this with you because, sometimes people will leave a Sunday service, they're fun, and they'll say, Cindy, oh, you're good. I didn't follow you, girl. Had no idea what you're talking about. And I go, that's okay. You were in the energy. You felt God's love. That's fine that you didn't understand it. If you want to understand it, listen to it later. If not, you got blessed with God's love. You got the blessing of the energy of the people and this coming together and the singing and the energy, And if you need to understand it, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to understand it. I don't normally tell them that, but I just let it be okay. But I know it's in their brain, and if they need it, it's going to quicken and it's going to come out. And when it comes out, it'll be their thought. Hey, I had a great thought. I had a great thought. And that's perfect. That's how our minds function. Comfort and discomfort. Comfort and discomfort. Discomfort is as valuable as comfort. We want to stay in the rightness, don't we? We want to stay sailing through. Woohoo! No problems. High-fiving everybody. But sometimes we've got to modify. And if we're going to bring in these dreams we're dreaming, don't you think we've got to modify? Some of the stuff we have is not going to let us bring it in. Some of the stuff we have is going to block that from coming. So, if you will, I'm telling you from my heart, and this is the truth from my experience, if you will simply stop and modify, it will save you a deep healing that requires tons of buckets to carry all your tears. Because that's how I roll. Deep healing, man. Bring it on. And I've learned that that's not the easiest way to do it. The easiest way is identify before it becomes problematic. Identify and modify before it becomes an issue. Identify, modify before you see it as an insurmountable block that's going to keep your good from you. Wah, wah. And I know we all have the capacity to be that, to see it as bigger than it is. Identify, modify, and get to the rightness. Get to that this feels good to me. This feels good. And you move forward in your life. All right. How you feel? Let's go within. Just breathe and feel that beautiful love of God surrounding you. And there's only light, and there's only peace. There's only one presence and one power in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. Breathe it in. There's only one presence and one power in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Breathe it in. I am love expressing from God, the good, omnipotent. Breathe it in. Father, Mother God, I ask that each one feel your touch. I ask that they feel that beautiful universal love flowing through them. And I would ask you just to allow your focus to relax and feel yourself held in an energy column of light. Imagine you can feel the light moving through your spine, moving through your heart, moving through your mind. And allow your focus to go to the essence of who you are. Go to your heart center. Let's go to the garden in your heart for a moment. Just drop in there. I am child of God in my right and perfect place. I follow my rightness to greater. Again, feel the love of Jesus Christ with you and the love of God engulfing you. I am in my right and perfect place, and I follow my rightness to greater. Feel the love just beginning to emanate out through the garden, through the body, through reality. I am cherished and sacred, just as I am. Begin to feel the oneness of God love moving through you, your space, your place in the universal flow of love. And just feel the peace. Just feel the peace. And Father, I ask that you bless us all so we begin to see and hear those universal messages. And we are grateful. Allow your focus just to bless your garden, and let your focus now come back to your body as you sit in your chair. Continuing to feel God love around you, one with Jesus Christ, continuing to feel the light. I am ready. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. I know everything I said you know. I hope I reminded you to pay attention. Isn't that what life is about? Show up, know who you are, and pay attention. Say yay, God.